This is the world's most hipster hunting rifle. Never in the history of firearms has a rifle brought in hate from both tactical fans and FUDs than the Scout rifle. Who needs to go check the target? Drone will do it. Hello there, I'm Don. Welcome back to On the Scout. Today, we're going to talk about, in my opinion, the finest rifle in the world, the Ruger Gunsite Scout. This is the rifle that built this channel, On the Scout. The Scout rifle concept is developed by Jeff Cooper, starting in the 60s and culminating in the development of the Steyr Scout rifle. The original specs called for a complete rifle to be 6.6 pounds or less. It must be a shorter, more compact rifle. The barrel must be around 19 inches or so to generate 2,700 feet per second with 150 grain 308 bullet, or 7mm 08. The stock needs to be handy, traditional, and short. The optic must be fixed power, low magnification, and have long eye relief. The advantage of that is that the rifle can be used close up and far out with equal effectiveness. And also, the scope is so far forward that it's very difficult to get scope eye shooting in awkward shooting positions. Other weird parts of the concept that Cooper insisted upon, which many people do not agree with and still causes controversy to this day, is the magazine cutoff. The ability to disconnect the magazine and fire one round and load one round. That's really a weird kind of 1800s, late 1800s concept that a lot of proponents of the Scout rifle kind of ignore. The Steyr Scout rifle actually has a detent in its magazines that still allows that. So somebody did take it seriously at the highest levels of the gun world. Another part of the concept is a bipod must be integrated into the stock to give the option of a bipod, whether to be for shooting or for just setting the gun on the ground. The Ruger Gunsite Scout was developed in part by a longtime Gunsite Academy instructor, Ed Head. And I had the pleasure of training with him in person when he was still around at Gunsite Academy in a 270 course, which is a general rifle course or hunting rifle course. And on that course, I actually won the Silver Raven, thus the top shot, the best shooter of the course, decided by a head-to-head timed competition between all the students of the course. The concept stuck with me, and a year later, I purchased my own. I purchased this rifle back in 2013. A few years later, I started my career as a elk and deer hunting guide out in the Rocky Mountain states. And the Scout rifle filled in perfectly in that use case. I'm one of the few people who use the Scout rifle professionally as a guide rifle, as a self-defense rifle, and as a general purpose rifle, as I guide in the mountains, on horseback, on foot, and on ATV. The biggest point of contention for a Scout rifle is what is its use case? Is it a hunting rifle? Yes. Is it a rifle you can use to defend yourself against bears, against people? Yes. Despite this, the biggest argument against the Scout rifle is, oh, there's specialized rifles that can do that better. There's no lightweight rifle that can do it better. The Scout rifle is short, it's light, it's easy to carry, it's tough enough, it's accurate enough to do most things I need to do as a hunting guide, especially operating on my own, working on my own with clients, way away from any help I might need. So in that use case, the Scout rifle is supreme. It's packable enough, it's handy enough, and it has enough power. And that's why I'm one of the few people that professionally use this rifle in the way that it was designed and intended to be used. Let's go over my rifle tip to butt. So starting at the very tip, at the muzzle is the thread protector that came with the rifle. It's a really lightweight, simple thread protector. I added a crush washer from an AR-10 behind it. That way I can push the thread protector a little bit forward. It has some standoff from the crown. That way, if this rifle is dropped onto something like a rock or something, that the crown can't be damaged by a common mistake, like having the rifle too low to the ground and having it snag and ding into something. The devices I would use other than a lightweight suppressor is the POF thread protector / single chamber compensator. It has compensator holes on top, single chamber. Another great device that's very lightweight and short is the A2 style flash suppressor. It weighs less than and is shorter than the Ruger device. A lightweight suppressor made of titanium. This is a AB Raptor. In Cooper's day, if suppressors were cheaper and lighter weight, you'd probably advocate for one. Moving down the barrel, these are the standard Ruger iron sights. It's compatible with the Mini 14, Mini 30 series, same part. The barrel is stainless steel. It's the standard Ruger 16.5 inch 1 in 10 twist barrel. I really like that bore being stainless steel because myself as a guide, always in the rain, the snow, in all weather conditions, having a stainless steel barrel alleviates my worry of having the barrel being rusted or pitted out and being ruined over a lifetime of use in the field. Moving down the barrel, this is a UTG clamp-on Picatinny section, and it allows mounting of a pistol light. So why, you ask, is a pistol light mounted directly on my barrel? I guide elk hunts in bear country. So half the time a kill happens at night in low light conditions, and having even the most bare minimum light. This is only a 1,000 lumen, very floody pistol light. This is the Rovyvon GL4 Pro. Even the very dim 1,000 lumen light allows me to at least shine in the woods and see a bear. Like, oh, something's rustling in the woods while we're field dressing an elk. This light can reach out and just say, hey, 25 yards away, yes, that's a deer, or it's a bear, or it's nothing. This lightweight pistol light allows this rifle to serve double duty, not only as a utility rifle, but also at nighttime bear defense. So when this video hits, there's gonna be some commenters. They're gonna be complaining about harmonics and accuracy. If you hang that flashlight on the end of your barrel, you're gonna lose your harmonics and you're gonna lose your accuracy. You know what's also hanging out at the end of my barrel? A 10-ounce suppressor. You know what's also hanging out on top of my barrel? 11-ounce scope with rings and a mount. So in the end, if I mount something on the barrel and I zero it that way, I need to make sure that stuff needs to stay there, torqued on right, to keep accuracy. I mean, you'll see this target here. We're gonna walk up the target. It's not so bad. It's gonna be like a 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2 inch group off of a bipod, not even really trying with a low power optic. That's well within what this rifle is designed to do. I need to be able to hit a 12-inch target at 500 yards. This scope, this rifle, that accuracy level can do that. Everyone goes in and starts to play this Walter Mitty. Everyone needs to be a commando. Everyone needs to be Chris Kyle sniper extraordinaire. His rifle, shoots, learn how to shoot, get out, train, practice with your gun. Love your gun, know the gun. Let's go have a look over here. First group, oiled bore, kind of wide. The next two after the bore warmed up. Probably the carbon needed to settle in the suppressor as well. The next two of M80 ball were really close. And then I loaded the American Whitetail ammo. Didn't really change anything. Just put crosshair in the middle of the orange diamond. 3-inch hot bore, 1.5 inch group. It'll do what I need it to do. Also, the GL4 Pro has an IR laser, a Viz laser, an IR illuminator. So if I wanted to use this same pistol light to hunt hogs or shoot at night under nods, I could still do it with this device. On the other side, this device has a quick disconnect QD. So in some areas, in some states, you can't have a laser or a light on your rifle. And so I zero with the light on if I'm worried about bears. And if I need to be more incognito, I can take it off when I'm traveling. Moving down the barrel here, we have the stock. Added a lot of QDs onto my rifle so I can have a lot more sling options and experiment. The Grovtec QDs were installed and epoxied in. These are also Grovtec. Limited rotation is really nice to have on these two positions. And these are just free rotating QDs from Grovtec. On the underside, there is a Spartan gunsmith socket for a bipod. I really like the Spartan because it's as if nothing is changed in the stock, yet when I need a bipod, I can just drop it in, it magnets in, and that bipod is ready for use right there with the Spartan bipod swivel. If it doesn't really change the profile or create anything snagging on the rifle, yet a bipod can be pulled out of your backpack or pocket, installed, and this rifle can be set up and fired with a bipod and rear support. I really appreciate how this Spartan has cant control. And you have to move, it folds up and just gets out of the way very quickly. On this side, I have a random little piece of Monstrum Picatinny. This is to allow use of an IR illuminator or flashlight on the side of the rifle. You see, I have done a soldering iron stippling job across the forend of the rifle, anywhere my hand can touch, with a lot of texture. So this rifle can be used when it's soaking wet or covered in blood. At the bottom of the stock, this is a standard swivel stud attached to a 2-point tactical sling. You can really live with that type of sling a lot better than a over-the-shoulder type leather sling that's more commonly associated with hunting rifles and scout rifles. On top of the barrel is the standard Ruger Picatinny rail. On top of the Picatinny is mounted two incredibly low Weaver rings and the now discontinued Leupold FX-II fixed power scope. This design really hasn't changed that much, but over time, with the changing markets, with the waning of the scout rifle, unfortunately, this scope was discontinued. My particular Leupold FX-II has the nice Leupold aluminum scope caps. On top of the FX-II is a aftermarket turret installed by a Leupold. This turret allows quick dialing out to 550 yards, maybe 600 yards, depending on what my zero is. I really like to use the scout rifle with the scope mounted as low as possible, and shaving down the Picatinny segments allows closer clearance from the scope to the top of the receiver. Moving down the rifle, this is the Ruger Hawkeye Action. It's a modified M77 Mach 2 action. Stainless steel, short action, compatible with AICS magazines. The safety is 3-position, non-ambidextrous. The action is a Mauser claw action based on the Car 98K, gas vent hole for safety. The magazine I'm currently using is the 3-round AICS Ruger magazine that allows somewhat of a grip around the action. That's a big feature of the scout rifle that scout rifle enthusiasts really care about, is having the option to grab the rifle by the action. And having a different magazine in this rifle really changes how you can use the scout rifle. Getting down to the trigger, this is the Ruger LC7 trigger. It's fairly decent trigger, 4.5 pounds, single stage. One big drawback of the Ruger safety system is this little pin. If you go through my old videos, this pin freezes up all the time in wet and cold conditions. Let's pull the trigger together. A little bit of play, like a millimeter play after the break. No creep. Break, 1 millimeter after. Really good trigger. Because of that weird bolt lock, how it has a tendency to freeze all the time, it's honestly best to just carry the rifle around, no round-in chamber, striker down with the pin fully extended. At the pistol grip of this rifle, more soldering iron stippling to allow grip when wet. I added a Monte Carlo cheek riser. This is the Victor Company Titan cheek rest with 1 spacer to allow perfect eye alignment for myself through the scout scope. Heading down the back, some electrical tape to tape up the muzzle, and then no spacers. The Ruger has the option to add spacers to increase the length of pull. I run this rifle like Cooper intended, no spacers, 12.5 inch length of pull. And back here is almost an inch thick, super jelly rubber, really absorbing recoil pad, really great. It's been 12 years since I have purchased this rifle and shot probably hundreds of different types of ammos through it. I get 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches with a really premium kind of long range hunting ammo and match ammo. I get about 1.25 inches. And that's with 3, 5, 5-round groups. This isn't a very thick barrel. With M80 ball, plinker grade ammo, honestly, it's like 2.5 to 3 inch groups. This isn't a sniper rifle. It isn't supposed to be one. But despite all that, if you go back to my old videos, I'm still getting hits, consistent hits, repeatable hits at 500 yards, at 600 yards. And if you go back far enough in my video catalog, you'll see that even with some match ammo, I've got hits to 1,000 yards with scout scopes with this scout rifle. So it is accurate enough. And with the over 2,000 rounds of shooting I put through this rifle with minimal cleaning, it's a very good record in my opinion for what it needs to do. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, is the scout rifle a hipster rifle? Is it the ultimate boomerism on the internet? Get to the comments, that's where all the discussion and learning happens. Thanks again so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you want to support niche content like this, please join me on Patreon or pay for the uncensored version of this video where I talk about all the different tricks and tips and stuff that are changed to make this rifle the greatest rifle in the world. This is Don on the Scout. If it wasn't for this flashlight, this obviously would be a sub MOA rifle, maybe even a quarter MOA.